welcome to my channel, CokiCreative. I'm Elena, and this is Coki. But before I get started today, I just want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Winterfest. Whatever you celebrate, I just hope you're having an awesome time. But for today, I have a very special build for you. It's called my Winterfest Obsession Home. It's got a lot of details, so the build is fairly large and it is a longer video. So if you're only interested in the interior shots, skip ahead to about 12-13 minutes. Otherwise, just watch the whole thing. I have some screenshots at the end. So without further ado, let's get to building. So here we are in Brindleton Bay. I am playing around with just making it not a flat lot. It's something I never do. I usually always build on a flat lot because it's just easier. But on this build, I wanted a little something extra. So I thought, wouldn't that be fun? So that's what I'm doing right there. I'm also kind of trying to figure out the shape of this house since I didn't really have a plan in mind. I just thought, let's just start building. Now that I have been kind of playing around with editing, I'm realizing that that's not the best strategy and that maybe I should start to, plan my builds a little bit more before I just kind of start putting walls down. But you live and you learn. But I wanted to make a really funky roof because the more I played around with the layout of the house, I realized it was very boxy. So I thought, well, if the roof is interesting, then having a little bit of a boxy outside, that's not bad. So I made I want to call it a gumdrop inspired roof in the main part, the part where it hangs over the first story. And I really like this neighborhood. I want to build in it more, Brindleton Bay. It reminds me of Cape Cod a lot, and I think Cape Cod is so cute. Been there a couple times. My husband's from the East Coast, so we've been out there just like little trips here and there. But you probably wouldn't find a house so much like this there, even though I guess you could say it kind of has a Cape Cod vibe to it with the roof like that, but that wasn't really my goal. My goal was just to have Winterfest throw up all over it, so I think I did a decent job at that. So then I'm putting a lot of red trim around, which I'm so happy I get to use a different color other than white, black, or brown for the roof trim, which I never do. So this build was just a lot of fun. It's not normal. You wouldn't normally do something like this, so it was a lot of fun for me. And here I put a little exterior fireplace chimney, obviously for Father Winter to get into your house. But silly me put it with gray brick at first. I'm not sure why, but I do end up changing that. So the outside of the house, even though it's boxy, I still wanted to have somewhat interesting. So I kind of play around with the different colors you could add to it, and I found these base game windows. I love them. I don't use them that often, mostly because a lot of the base game stuff is more expensive, and I think they realize people use the cheaper ones more. There's a lot of 30 simoleon windows, and these ones are a little bit more. But I'm glad I used them. This is not there's no money restraints for this house, so I just kind of went as crazy as I possibly could, which is really fun when there isn't any kind of money restraint. But I did actually do a pack restraint. I don't know if you can see in the little corner, but I wanted it to be only seasons and the free holiday stuff pack along with base game because I just thought those were the best items for this house. And I like to try to, not just a challenge for me to do it, but I think more people can download houses that way because not everyone has all the expansion packs. And I totally understand why not everyone has them. So Seasons is a very popular pack, and then I always throw in the free holiday one whenever I do like a pack restriction because everyone's gonna have it. I kind of consider it like a base game anyway, so I throw it in there. It has some cute items in it that you can use year round. Um, for example, like the fairy lights, which I use a lot of. And now I'm adding these like roof details. I don't know what they're called. I know that they probably have it in the little description there, but the little funky uh, roof details, I'm gonna call it. And I'm always saving. I'm saving throughout the game. So if you see the save, any simmer knows the importance of saving while you're building or playing, for that matter. Now here's the little walkway to the house. I had like a little circle thing. And I found this really pretty red base game fencing also. And here I'm adding flowers. I am changing that out. I only added them because they were red, but I realized that this is a winter build. Those flowers would be dead, and I wanted something, I just wanted to be vibrant. I wanted to scream Christmas. So I ended up changing those out a little later. And here I'm kind of playing around with a little bit of landscaping, adding wreaths and these little snowflakes to the windows. I've never used those. And when I was like, what do I even do with these? And I thought putting them on the windows would be so cute, especially for those winter days. For example, where I am right now, I'm in Chicago. It is not snowy right now, and I'm a little disappointed, but it's fine. So if I had like any snowflake decals on my windows, maybe it would just be like the essence of snow. Because I want a white Christmas, but that's not going to happen. That's okay. I was living in the Caribbean like a few weeks ago, so at least it feels more Christmassy here. And now here I add a lot of garland around the fence because I thought that would be kind of cool. Like, I've seen that other people do it before. It's not like something I made up, but I just think it's like so extra. So not just adding it there, but I added a lot of places. I kind of like for this house, I wanted to be one of those houses that when you're driving around during the winter and you pass that house, the person that goes above and beyond, they have like the light show that matches with Christmas music. Like, that's what I imagine. I'm like, I want this house to be like that house, the one that you take pictures of. They're like, that's a little too much, but not in a bad way. Because there's a fine line between looking super extra decorated and then just looking bad. And here I found those, like, I never use these either, but it's like kind of like hanging lights, but they're not lights. They're just like little snowflakes. I thought they were so cute, so I added them to all the roof. And since it had the dark brick background, I thought it really made the snowflakes pop. So that's why I add them all there. And then at the front of the house, if you can see, there's like that banner. I added that banner because I used to have a neighbor in my old neighborhood I grew up in that had, like, every year they would put this gigantic gigantic banner on their garage door. And so I thought, okay, this person would totally do that. Whoever lives in this house would totally have a big banner just wishing everyone Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So for my house, I have this in my neighborhood. I moved in Father Winter because I couldn't think of anyone else who would better suit that. The lady who has the plumb bob in the front of the house, that is not Father Winter. That is Random Townie. This is a summer neighborhood right now, so I move it into another save game I have that's winter. So that will answer it, because that's what's going on there, if you're ever wondering why random townie. I try to, when I do build, sometimes pick the craziest looking townies because when I'm building, I don't usually play with those lots. Except I did play with Father Winter a little bit. It was kind of fun. He had milk and cookies. Anyway, back to building. Here I'm doing a little bit of landscaping. I really wanted to keep everything just green and a little bit of red. I didn't want it to be too insane. It's gonna be mostly like snowy out, so I wasn't too worried about what kind of like flowers would be planted and this and that. So I kept to a lot of evergreen trees, some rocks, bushes. And if you're familiar with any of my builds, I tend to go a little crazy on the landscaping. I like to landscape. I'm learning to get better at it. It's always been something that I've struggled with, mostly because, I don't know, I guess I just don't have any real life experience with landscaping. So yeah, I've been really trying to push myself, and sometimes I push myself so far that it gets a little overgrown and crazy, but kind of like that. I'm kind of into that like crazy overgrown look. So here I line the entire walkway with like some grass, and then I'll add some rocks. I do kind of paint underneath like the brown, but I don't show all of that because it takes a while. Add a few extra bushes over here. A lot of this is base game too. I don't even know how much seasons. I know it comes with like some evergreen trees, but most of the landscaping is base game, if you were wondering. And here I add garland all around the back porch. You can't have enough. I mean, you can't. It's funny because, yeah, in real life, I wouldn't have the patience to decorate like this, but in The Sims, I sure do. I have more than enough patience to do this. Maybe next year I'll put up some lights, but yeah, in real life, I'm pretty minimalist with decor. So that's why I go a little insane with my Sims builds. I just love cluttering things. Makes things feel a little bit more realistic too. All right, we are in the interior. As you can see, I did kind of section off rooms already. I just edited that out because you didn't really need to see me doing all that. It took a while to kind of figure out where I wanted things to be. I did take away that big window because I really, really wanted to put that fireplace there. I think that fireplace is so adorable, super Christmassy. I think it comes with, that's maybe the free holiday pack one. There's two of them. And then I wanted to play around with a different wood floor than I usually use, since I tend to stick with the cheap ones. Since it's a nice brown, you can't go wrong with a cheap wood floor, since they all look nice. But I just wanted to do something a little different. So here I am, sectioning it off a little bit more, deciding to just go with the brown wood. Yeah, and as you can see, I have a green staircase. I do end up changing that because it clashes with the wallpaper I eventually put up. And yeah, adding those little pillars. I really wanted to be like really cute inside, like a gingerbread house, sort of. And yeah, that's the upstairs. It's where all the bedrooms will be. I tend to put bedrooms upstairs, like I guess any normal house would be. Sometimes I put a parent's bedroom downstairs, but in this case, all the bedrooms are upstairs. And I'm trying to figure out the layout of the kitchen. I struggled a bit because I didn't need it to be big. That wasn't the issue here. The issue was I wanted the dining room table to be big, and there wasn't much room for that. So I kind of struggled. I do make this room a little bigger. I drag it out, which is really easy. Which I love about The Sims 4 is they have that like drag out feature, and it keeps all the wallpaper the same. So it's less work for you, but it's still a little annoying when you have to make your house a little bigger. On the outside, this house feels pretty big, but the inside is actually not too big. It's pretty cozy. It's perfect for a family of, I would say, 4. I mean, you can have more Sims in there. Here's where I take a slight break from the kitchen because I get frustrated. So I'm like, let's put some garland around these. Let's do something to get my mind off the kitchen. Sometimes I do that. If I'm struggling with a room, I'll go kind of to another room, decorate that, feel good about it, and then go back to the room that I was struggling with. I also like to do this with fireplaces. I kind of add like brick or stone around them. I just feel like that's a little bit more realistic. All right, I get the confidence to come back into the kitchen, figure out lighting. I also wanted lighting that wouldn't be annoying when you're playing. Because when I do builds, I like to think about what it's like to play those builds, not just like what they look like. Because I play a lot. That's before I started my building Instagram, I actually played probably a lot more than I did build. And now I probably build a little bit more than I play. But it's just really important to me that everything is playable, and not just playable, but enjoyable while you play. So I tend to put like kitchens in the back. I don't want to put like fridges in an annoying place, or showers where you can't really get to the toilet easily. If that makes any sense, I don't know. I just think about what annoys me when I play, and I try to build around that. And not everything's perfect, and I know that. That's not everyone has a perfect home. It's okay. And here I finally kind of figure out how I want the layout to be. As you can see in the kitchen right now, I have like a dining room table in the middle, like as an island. I change it out eventually with another one that's a little bit more like, I think it comes with like the free holiday pack or seasons. That's why I didn't really show me putting it down, because I do change it. But I was able to fit the big dining room table. I was very excited about that. I'm imagining everyone eating their grand meal around there, having their like cousins, grandparents over, all that good stuff. For the living room, I actually had a pretty easy time putting this one together. I struggle a lot with living rooms. Oh no, there's a train going by in real life, so I'm sorry if you hear a train whistle. But anyway, I tend to struggle with living rooms sometimes, but this one just kind of came to me. The fireplace was a good center point. And I also put a lot of trees around. It's Winterfest. You need a lot of trees. So I think like there are 4 or 5 trees in this entire build. That one of them doesn't work like it does when, let's say you have the Seasons expansion pack and you want to like decorate the tree with your family. The one in the corner behind like the love seat, that one does not work for that, since that's from the free holiday winter pack. But the rest of them you can totally decorate with your family, you can sing around it, all that good stuff. And here I add some nutcrackers. I love having nutcrackers around during the Christmas time. My mom is actually a ballerina, so it kind of reminds me of her. I've seen her do the nutcracker before, and yeah, so it kind of just reminds me of my mom. So I put a lot of nutcrackers in this build. There's nothing wrong with that. And they have a ton of nutcrackers in the game, surprisingly, so obviously I will want to use them. And here I'm just adding a ton of garland everywhere. And the presents. I do add a lot of presents. Some of them are presents just for show, And then some of them are the ones you can actually open with your family. So I made sure I added both of them because I wanted this to be, you know, like I said earlier, very playable, very fun for the whole family. And I did actually get to, when I was playtesting, it was Winterfest, which was so funny. And I had the original Father Winter living in this house. And then, of course, another Father Winter came to visit him, which was kind of funny. But yeah, he had his milk and cookies and all the good stuff around the fireplace. It's a very playable house. I was very happy with the layout of it when I was playtesting. Anyway, so I have to obviously overdo the garland. I wanted like almost every inch of the wall to feel decorated. And here around the Christmas tree, I wanted to put like a lot of stuffed animals, a lot of toys, almost like they were just opened. Kind of, yeah, because whenever I think of like the holidays, I like to think of like big stuffed animals and stuff like that. So here I switched to that season's, almost like, I want to call it an island. Anyway, back to the living room. I didn't know what to do with the space, so I just started grabbing mirrors. And then I found this like, that really pretty ornate gold mirror, and I thought it looked so nice against the green wallpaper, so I kind of just went with it. I went with what felt right, so I just started putting like stuff down on the little countertop there, obviously keeping to my red and green color theme, and it ended up being kind of cute. Like I wasn't expecting us to like it, and then I obviously have to put another nutcracker there. I probably put that like family that sports photo, you just in the picture frame like 5 times around the house. So sorry about that. But I also put a lot of these like wood Christmas things. Yeah, I thought that looked cute. So anyway, back to the living room. There's the bookshelf. There is not a TV in this house, but I put a remote control. I don't know what I was thinking. I usually almost always have a TV. But this house, it just felt like, I felt like there doesn't need to be a TV because they'd be bonding, you know? Oh, and did you see that I grabbed from the debug menu the tree skirt and I put it as the rug upstairs in the bedroom. Just FYI, if you ever find something in the debug menu that you put down and you can't delete, there's actually a little trick I learned, because when I was playtesting this, Santa couldn't get in the bed to sleep, and it was because of the tree skirt, and it said I couldn't delete it. So what I did after many failed attempts of other things is I took the room, I copied it. With that copy, it got rid of the tree skirt, and so therefore I saved it. Then I deleted the original room and then moved the copied version back to where the original room was. So just FYI, if you ever are playing around the debug menu and you can't get rid of an item, that's how you do it. You copy a room and then replace the room with the same exact room. It's really annoying, but it saved me from rebuilding the entire room. So yes. So here I'm making like little shelves, and then I add those things I added to the roof earlier and that I don't know the name of, almost like like little shelving unit. I just want to add just like a little extra color to it. I try to do that a lot, just little things, just try to get creative, making new objects with objects I've already used 1,000 times. And here, just doing a little extra cluttering. I did want it to feel very lived in, and I probably could have put more clutter in the kitchen, but I didn't really feel like it was necessary. I did want to have a lot of open space for cooking. And I definitely feel like I did enough there. Here I'm in the bathroom. I didn't record the whole thing just because I didn't feel like it was necessary to. I used some Seasons stuff and some base game stuff, obviously keeping to the red and green color theme. And yeah, that it was pretty simple. I fell in love with the that tile floor from base game, the red one. I'd never really used it, so now I think I'm going to use that more. It has like a really nice shine to it. And here I'm putting a little bit of like fun activity stuff that isn't electronic, like the guitar and then the chess set. Thought that'd be kind of fun to play. And that's the that's a tree skirt I'm talking about before we get any further, that I use as a rug. I did replace it with another rug. So in the screenshots, if you do notice that it's a circle rug but different, that is why. This is the parents' room. And I wanted to feel very, very cozy. 'Cause in the winter, it's really cold and I just love bundling up. I love getting like really cozy, drinking hot chocolate, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I imagine that they would do in this room. Added some candles to the back of the bed because I thought that looked kind of cool. Trying to do something different. And it also added a lot of light to the room. A lot of red in there. These people must really, really love Winterfest. Anyway, so now I'm putting in the wardrobe and I'm kind of playing around with how I want to decorate it. They have more presents in the room. I'm imagining maybe those are their secret presents they're not going to give to the kids until the day of. And here we are decorating with more of those like wood block. I don't even know what to call them, but they're a holiday. They came with the free holiday pack. I think they're so cute. And everything is play tested. Like you can use the bookshelf. I was actually really surprised that you could get around this room because it's so tight. You can sit in the chair. You can read a book in the chair. Yeah, and I just add a few extra little things to that wall because, for some reason when I see a blank wall, I'm like, what can I put there? It needs something. So yeah, I added a few extra things. And now onto the kids' room. I changed around the colors, but I wanted it to feel like maybe like a preteen, a young teen lives here. I got inspiration from the rug for the pink and green instead of red and green. Since, she still has her own style, or he, I don't, whoever you want to live in this bedroom or in this house. But I just got inspiration from the rug and I put gifts there because I thought, it's a teen. Maybe they have some friends that they wrapped gifts for and they want to give them to later. Even though this person has their own style, I still wanted them to be obsessed with the holidays also. So I still added some holiday things in this bedroom. And I really like the flip-flop lights. I've lived in the Caribbean like a couple times in my life, and my mom also moved there a couple years ago. And I don't know, I just have like a lot of Christmas memories there. And so I do think of like flip-flops in Christmas and yeah. Here is a desk. I saw this from another builder and I can't remember the name and I'm very sorry, but it is play tested. What you do is you just take one of those kind of like cabinet things and you put a bar stool on it and then you can size it down. The only thing is I couldn't find a good way to hide the original cabinet, so you're just going to see that under the desk. Pretend it's a box that they keep things in. You just got to get creative. Here I tried to think of just kind of playing around with trying to do something a little different, but it kind of kept failing. Eventually I find these like that little end table kind of thing, and I thought it would look really cute as those would be like the legs for this desk. So that's what I do. I keep that. Yeah, so that's their little desk, and then I put some random things on the wall that I think look good. They play the violin, I figured. I always like to give like my kids' rooms some sort of like, I don't know, personality, like, oh, this sim likes to play the violin. And then I thought adding the stuffed animal to the chair would be really cute. I've had stuffed animals up until my early 20s. There's nothing wrong with being a teen and liking stuffed animals. On to the second bedroom. I wanted this to be a little bit more masculine, but obviously you can have a girl living here, you can have a boy living here. Does not matter. And here, I struggled with this room though. I don't know why, but I did. I always really like to do like teen rooms and preteen rooms and kids rooms, but this one I just, yeah, not my favorite room, but that's okay because not every build is your favorite build. But I did get the chance to use Baby Yoda in the room, and I was really excited about that. So you'll see in a little bit. But here I'm just trying to, put some things together, make it feel more homey. And in the video, I don't show it, but when I was play testing, I thought, oh, I should add some toys. So I did add some toys to the ground just in case you did have like a kid living in this room and not a teen. I would love it if you could be a preteen in The Sims. I think that would be, because it's such a different age between being like, what I like to think of as 8 years old, like 5 to 10 is what like kids, and then all of a sudden you're like 16. I would really love to have like a super awkward stage. So anyway, here we're moving to just this little room at the top of the stairs. I just decorated up. I put a mirror that's completely unusable, but I just do it for decoration. There are plenty of mirrors around the house you can use if you want to change your look. Yeah, just made it kind of cute. And then I move on to outside. I put a grill for when it does turn summer. You can still grill in the winter, but I'm imagining maybe just in case you want to play during the summer, you have that option. I had a few more trees because you can't have enough. And a little bit more of green, just a tiny bit. It's not a huge backyard, but I figure there's a lot of stuff to do in the inside, and plus this is a winter build. Like, you're going to be inside most of the time anyway. And then I had a table, some chairs. I have to find the perfect shade of green. There we go. And some lights, obviously, because you don't want to be too dark. And there we have it. Yeah, so that's my Winterfest craziness house. Thank you guys for watching and listening to me ramble for over 30 minutes. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram and also have a great holiday.